What's up, Tweeners? Welcome back to another Tweener tennis video today here on the channel. Today we have a very special guest. As you can see, we are not in our usual spot because we are at the University of Kentucky, a top 15 program, and it's incredible that we're even here. So we got the chance to talk to Cedric, the head coach of the team, and talk about his experience, what it's like being a coach for one of these programs, the key to consistency in his coaching style, especially when it comes to being a former pro athlete on tour who took Pete Sampras to 5 sets. I don't know if he likes to talk about them. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel. Over 80% of you are not subscribed to the channel. What's up with that? Hit that subscribe button. Now enjoy our interview with Coach Cedric.
Number one, you know what I mean? So he gets the spotlight. Yeah. But the people that have done really, really well is our 3, 4, 5.
I know. Especially Gabriel too. I feel like Gabriel's been unreal.
Yeah.
Top.
Just he's here. I mean, like I said, so you always look at the one, but you pay attention to our team carefully, and you see where they're.
Well, looking at your rankings entirely, I feel like for us, and we'll get started with this conversation, kind of continuing off of it. I feel like for you, like you said, Liam is your number one guy, but then you have literally everyone else in singles that's inside the top 100.
Yeah.
How do you balance that out with growing confidence and continuing this winning performance that you guys have?
Well, it's the managing part. I think we try to spend quality time, you know, one-on-one with them, talking to them or working on their games. You know, everybody on my team is different, you know, so you got to approach them differently, and that's a tough part as a coach, and balance that aspect of it.
So what's it like what do you take for each person? What makes them an individual for you? Or like, how do you make them an individual player?
Well, again, it goes back to what they need to be successful. You know, some people want the hours on the court, you know, like a JJ Mercer or Liam. They gravitate towards playing a lot of tennis through the day. So we do that. Some people like to play maybe a little bit less, but talk, you know, pre-matches, post-matches, things like that. So you just have to kind of find out what makes them happy, you know, and click with confidence, and try to pursue that through the semester. And for you too, as a former pro player as well, and if you Google his name, the first search you see is his 5-setter against Pete Sampras. Not to bring up that, but that's fine. It's for you as a player to now coach. What did you like being coached like as a player versus how you coach now? As a player, I like to have a little bit of free reins, you know, just kind of be me on the court, and this is what we're letting Liam be a little bit, you know, kind of like, again, I think that's how he's very good with his emotions and his that kind of character. Like Frenchie, for example, Francois at 4 is on the other side of the spectrum, very quiet, very calm, you know, through the matches. So as a player, I like to have free reins a little bit on who I was, you know, let myself be who I was. So all 6 players are different, and I want them to be, you know, who they want to be on the tennis court, and so I try to do that. So you kind of emulate what you were taught to them, and you're not doing it any different way. That's right. I think Coach Henry did a really good job with that, with our teams. With a little bit of spice of him, you know, and I'm sure there's a little bit of spice of me on everybody. I am a competitor. They know I don't like to lose, you know, so I'm sure it translates onto them, onto the court a little bit. And for you, seeing that competitiveness, how do you kind of contain your emotion within that motion of wanting to win every day? Yeah, I've become a lot calmer with age. I think. You taper down a little bit. I used to be not quite like Liam on the court, but pretty close, you know. So as a coach, I think there is days, you know, maybe I'll go back to who I was as a player, maybe with my emotions and stuff. But I've learned to. I know that if I stay calm, my players will be calm. So I try to be as calm. Is it perfect? No, you know, they're still getting better as players, and I'm still getting better as a coach also. It's funny how you you see how much you've progressed, not only as a coach but as a person as well. For you, when you were first starting to play as a pro, what was the advice that everyone gave you that when you first went to that pro tour? Well, I think you have to play on a pro tour, or I guess in life you have to play to your strength. You know, try to say, okay, this is what I do well, and tried to bring that every day, you know, and my strength, same thing on the Pro Tour, you know, you had my speed or my competitive spirit or whatever it was, I try to bring that every day, and it gives you a chance. So for one, you have to figure out what your strengths are.
Okay.
That's not easy to do as a player or as a person, and then try to bring that every day. Everybody's got weakness. I've got a weakness, so I've got to kind of improve that, but spend more time with your strength. We always sometimes focus only on what you're doing bad, but you forget about what you're doing well too. So we try to do that with our players. Like I said, we play to their strength. Liam has to play this game, Milan has to play this game, Gab has to play his game. So they're all very different games. So that's what we try to do.
Would you say that's the best piece of advice you've gotten?
Yeah, I don't know if I've gotten that advice through my career. I just figured out, you know, this guy has a big serve, that's why he's winning. So I mean, at the end, it's very simple, but very complicated to do daily.
Yeah.
Always easy to do it once or 2 days, but to do it consistently 365 is not easy.
And do you run your practice with that in mind, or is every day something different? We have a system where we try to hit a lot of balls, a little bit more individuality, you know, in the mornings and things like that. In the afternoon, we try to test that. Okay.
We play more points in the afternoon, and you know, because to become a player, you've got to play. You know, you've got to learn how to win sets. Don't have to play great all the time, but you have to learn to win. So we do that a lot, but we do a little bit more individualized practices, I'd say, compared to other schools.
Okay. In what way do you think? Does that make you get better with the kids themselves, or does it just help them boost their confidence?
A little bit of all of that. Like I told you, we have 6 guys that play differently. So if I set a practice or the whole month, this is the way we're going to play, this is the way we're going to train, it will not be comfortable for everybody because they all play differently. I can have in you know, tennis, we could have, you know, hit cross court for 30 minutes, and that might help one player out of my 10, but my other 9, that's not how they play, grinding cross court. So the coaches spend more time on the court than maybe other coaches in the country, but we work one-on-one, one-on-twos and things like that, and in the afternoon we play a lot.
I wanted to talk about the SEC itself for you guys. In terms of a very competitive conference for you, how do you take it day by day when you play consistently a top 60 program in the nation and you're playing the best teams and the best players? How do you manage that for yourself?
It is tough, and this is what our conference is so difficult. You have, I think, anybody from 1 through, you know, we have 13 teams, and then Texas and Oklahoma is coming in 2024. So it's going to make 15 unbelievable teams. You have to, we'll say, week by week, you know, and what's difficult, we try to tell our players, is if we do take one on the chin, it is okay. It happens, you know. We have to have players that have thick skin that can bounce back quickly. It's really good to have confident players that are winning and things like that, but you also have to have players that can lose and bounce back quickly. That's as important as keeping confidence, is bouncing back quickly. We play, you know, on the first weekend, we play till Sunday, and on Monday we take a day off. On Tuesday, we sit down with the team and we say, okay, this weekend is, you know, A&M and Auburn. This is what we're going to focus on this week. This is how we're going to approach it. So we'll kind of go week by week. If we go too much ahead, we're going to get clipped on one of those weekends.
100%. When it comes to that SEC schedule, you know it's going to come no matter what throughout the season. So when you schedule your non-conference, what do you look for in terms of the teams that you want to set up before your conference matches start?
I think all coaches in the SEC, you know, we have meetings every year, we are on calls every month. All the SEC coaches believe that we need to have a strong non-conference. If we do have a strong non-conference and we do pretty good, once we get in our conference, we're all top 40s, and then we beat up on each other. So we're going to stay within, you know, the best, we'll say the top 20. So we always, Coach Emery before me, and I always believe that we want to play the best people that we can, so we schedule Ohio State and Duke and Louisville or Notre Dame, Virginia tomorrow. So we want to play the best. Individual rankings also matter, so I want my guys to have a chance to play the best. So we're not afraid of anybody.
Let me ask you a question about kind of on the coaching side for UTR. There's been a lot of, I guess, speculation of a player's UTR reflects higher than what their actual ranking is in college tennis. What do you think about incorporating that UTR scale into the individual rankings?
I mean, UTR is becoming more and more of a talk, more and more of a thing. I think when it first started, it was a little off. Is it still off a little bit? Yeah, it's still off a little bit. Some countries are using it more than others. So UTR is a good gauge, but I don't think it's the final. I think in a few years, when everybody is accepting it, I think it will be more even and more. But I think once we, again, in the college thing, we don't play. There's a lot of high UTRs on the tour.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we don't play, when the college people play just college events, just for 4 or 5 months, our UTRs probably drop a little because we're not playing any futures.
Yes.
Some high school, some American people, some American players out of high school have low UTRs a little bit, lower than I think they are, because they don't play maybe ITFs and things like that. So just gotta, look at it with a little bit. It's just not consistent all the time.
Okay. And my last question to you on kind of that ITF level, when you have players that are playing those pro tournaments while playing college tests. We saw that with Liam. We've seen that with other players in the college scene. What is it like to kind of balance there? Let's get you ready for the pro circuit while continuing to be playing college competition.
Yeah, it is so same like you touched on the UTR. Liam had a higher UTR when he played in the fall.
Yeah.
And then when he comes in college, it's still very tough competition, but his UTR will drop. A little bit, but Liam is my players, because they do want to play pro after, not just Liam. I have 6 guys that want to play pro after. It is easy to train. Like I said, we come back on Tuesday and we can say, let's keep getting better, let's keep getting better, let's keep getting better. We're playing college and we're trying to do the best that we can, but the final goal is not, for them, is not just college. So it's easy to come out and go, okay, listen, you did that very, very well. We can get that better for the next level. Let's keep working on that. So they're very accepting and very easy to work with.
I love that. Thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.